Okay, okay. For those of you in Seattle, Seahawks. And for those in the Boston area, the Patriots are still here. Come celebrate and gloat with the Puddy Pie. Yo, welcome to the Puddy Pie with Mickey and RoRo, NFL Conference Championship Week. And what a strange but competitive week it was. Thank you so much for dropping in and viewing this video. We are the pâtissiers of Puddy Pie. I am RoRo.
I'm Mickey.
Before we get started, I want to thank you for one of our most viewed weeks of the year. Thousands of views, thousands. A lot of people say thousands of views. Very much appreciated. So if you don't mind, please do it again. Like, follow, comment, forward, subscribe, hit stars. If you're on Facebook, give us some stars. On YouTube, turn this video sideways if you're on your phone and hit that subscribe button at the bottom. And if you're on TikTok and Instagram, y'all know what to do. But like, follow us. Mickey, we know who our Super Bowl participants are. It's the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. That's a rematch of, I believe, Super Bowl 49. You remember that one, right? Back in Russell Wilson days.
Oh, I remember it. I hope we have a better, result.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one with they wouldn't get the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the goal line.
He was choking on his Skittles. He was mad.
He was choking after he was mad. And on the other side, I'm sure the Patriots fans are remembering Malcolm Butler's interceptions. Yeah, any initial reactions to like the Seahawks versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
No,
None.
Once again, only my bookie knows, and my bookie is still in play. If that gives you a hint.
Yeah, well, the line is right now Seattle minus 4.5. So I mean, hope you in contact with your sports betting site, as we say. What are your thoughts about this weekend? We had some kind of, like I said, some interesting but competitive games where the Patriots beat the Broncos in the snow 10-7, and then there was the Seahawks beating the Rams 31-27. Anything that kind of jumped out right away for those games?
I enjoyed the second game a little bit more than the first.
Oh, the Rams game, Seahawks, yeah. Yeah, I thought the first one, it was a good game for about 2 quarters, and then the snow came in, and that was it.
Well, you know what was
Well,
nice?
what's that?
Our son was here with his girlfriend, and that was nice. And it seemed like we spent a lot of time talking about the pizza while the game was on, like what were we going to order? And then the snow started falling, and we had a lot of commentary about the snow and driving conditions. That gives you an idea. I mean, we enjoyed the company, the game.
Yeah. But, I'm just saying, we're gonna get to it. Folks, coaches need to start listening to Mickey, but I'm sure she's gonna remind us about it later. But then there was like other pivotal turnovers in those games by the Broncos and the Rams. Um, but yeah, you know, it ended up how I thought it would end up, and so we've got the Seahawks and the Patriots. But it's that time. It's that time now. We talked about the games and doing a little prognostication going forward, but there is putty pies in the sky by and by. Don't you cry. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Xavier Smith, wide receiver, punt returner for the LA Rams. It'll be all right. Stop eating those putty pies, man. Xavier Smith. I mean, and take a breath. Poor Xavier. All you had to do, bro, was relax and catch the ball. Catch the damn ball when they punt it to you. But in the biggest game, I'm sure it's the biggest game of your career, you whiffed. And it's not only you, but the Rams coaches can be blamed too, because I saw the signs. It opened up my mind. I saw the signs. And so should the coaches for the Rams. They should have saw it too. Listen, as always in the playoffs, teams' weaknesses will be exposed. And on Sundays, the Rams' special team's weakness was exposed. On Sunday, the Seahawks punted to the Rams 5 times, and the man they call the X Man was backed to receive 3 of those. The first punt he fielded fine, caught it, okay, happy, it's a check. But it was on the second punt where the problem started. And on the second punt, the former Rattler from Florida A&M, he looked rattled. Second punt went right through his arms, missed hands, and he looked panicked, like the ball hit the turf, and luckily it just bounced right back to him. Alert, alert, McVay, the Puddy Pies were in the sky, and X-Man and the Rams coaches were all excited to eat them because they didn't see the signs, not paying attention to the signs. They roll them back out there in the second half. So they got the ball to stop the Seahawks in the second half, got a chance to punt, and that ended up going bad. I mean, I hate picking on young players, especially up and coming young players. But as Bobby Womack once say, I like to help a man when he's down, but I can't help him much when he's sleeping on the ground. And Smith literally was laying on the ground trying to field a punt. I mean, man, you remember the movie Harlem Nights? It looked like Red Fox character in Harlem Nights. Benny Snake Eye Wilson, they call. He had the big old bug eye glasses. Like he couldn't see nothing. Like the ball, he couldn't detect the ball. So you remember Benny tells Della Reese in that movie, I got some hash in the refrigerator, but it wasn't. So she started yelling at him. You got my mouth all ready for hash, but you got tuna. And that was Smith. Rams has stopped the Seahawks. Is ready to get the ball, get back in the lead, and he must have pumped. I mean, for real, it was crazy. He just kind of fell backwards, like his helmet was too heavy in the back. You remember, like Cuba Gooding? If y'all see the movie Men of Honor, he had the big old tank on his head. It's like he couldn't get up, like he fell backward. I mean, for real, he lunged so nervously, like backwards. I thought he was bungee jumping. I'm not gonna totally blame it on the X Man. McVay and Ben Kadwika were eating putty pies. Stop eating those putty pies. They should have been extra vigilant, especially because it was the playoffs. And they had just fired the special teams coach like weeks earlier. So all I can say to Xavier Smith and those coaches that I mentioned, leave those putty pies alone because y'all love the dough more than we know. Y'all love the dough. So stop eating those putty pies. Stop eating that dough. You had a good years, but stop eating those special team putty pies. What do you think, Mick?
How many weeks have we've been doing this now? How many weeks has it been?
It's about 21 weeks.
Have to say it again. That's a lot to unpack. Just a lot. It's like, wow, you take me, I have to like, what was that movie about? What was that movie? You take me everywhere. You take me everywhere, and I love it. But you called it out, and you knew I was gonna say it. Those Broncos going for it on fourth down in the first quarter to get zip, nada, when they
You're
could have had a 10-0 lead, only to lose the game by what? 3. 3
mm,
all season. It's driving me nuts. Maybe next year, next season, the light bulb's gonna go off with all these putty pie eating coaches that like to sacrifice points in the first half of a game. Coaches, you don't have to be a genius. Just kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid, and get the dang points. Just get the 3. Just do it. And that was my frustration. Made me very angry at the beginning of the game, and I was like, oh, "Dang, this is going to be a game. If they're going to lose by 3." I called it out as soon as I was like, "They're going to lose by 3," and took the fun out of the game for me.
mm.
But anyways, full disclosure to everybody, I'm not a Bronco fan, but over the years, I root for them. For my nephew Didi, for my coworkers, I like them to be happy and excited and enjoying their team. But the lure of Mile High, folks, this ain't Seattle. This altitude is not your 12th man. It is not. Not anymore for Denver. Not with these younger men in this generation. It's different. Maybe it will change with the new stadium. Maybe you'll get that back and have some success with that. Other teams just don't seem to be that impacted by the altitude anymore. They really don't. I mean, they're coming in there and they're getting you. Now, the Pats, for sure, we all saw it on the sideline, sucking the oxygen. But me think the Broncos might have needed some of that oxygen themselves. The energy was really there. Overall, like lackluster performance. It was more of like a preseason scrimmage. Like they're like, we don't care who wins. We're just seeing
Mhm.
what everybody's got. Stidman throwing two-handed backward passes, then only one first down in the second half. This preseason, the coach can put the whole team on the bus and they got to take a road trip, got to take a ride to go see some real Broncos, some real horses, some wild horses, and have to ride them. And maybe they'll have some giddy up for next season. And Peyton, stop on the fourth down. It didn't work in New Orleans. It's not working in Denver, so stop eating those putty pies. Just stop. And I just have to do a little shout out. My nephew, Dee, they'll be back next year, so stop crying. But hey, there's always Russell Wilson.
That's wrong.
He loves me.
Oh, Russ. But yeah, you've been calling that out for weeks. Everybody's going for the fourth down and the percentages and everything. And every time, I would say 60% of the time, they lose by the 3 points.
Mind you going for it like in the fourth quarter, like we gotta try, right? First, second, like, really? Okay. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, hey, next year Broncos and Wilson's going to be available for backup if you don't like Jarrett Stidham. I'm just saying.
I'm I'm not gonna blame the loss on Mr. on Stiddy. I'm not. I don't think he was the reason they lost that game. It was an overall team performance failure. Coach.
Yeah, that just seemed like it was a ride to the finish. Who's gonna ride this snow out? And then that's what it looked like. So yeah,
But we knew
but
who was do because they just did it against Houston.
yep, 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 exactly. Well, we're gonna continue on our putty pie, and we're gonna take a little bit of a detour than something we normally do. I mean, our show is primarily focused on football so far. And with the season really at the end, we're likely to look at other sporting events as we continue to putty pie and other observations of the world. So today I'm going to dare to give the first non-putty pie just based on what's happened in our world. And that's going to Christy Lynn Arnold. No. Someone gonna ask me, oh, why? Why are you going this? It's our sports show. Or are you gonna tell us what political team you're on? But the show is not about that. Our show is about people underperforming and persons that appear to be like hard on the outside and soft in the middle, like a pie. This past week was an embarrassment and excusable moment for our country. It's not about policies or it's about blatant lies. She clearly tried to appear hard like a pie, but was hollow on the inside. I mean, her portrayal of the events in Minnesota and the labeling of Mr. Alex Preedy as a domestic terrorist was below the standards for her position. It's tough to care about like the label domestic terrorist when someone's been unalive. She was so busy trying to spin the lies and pose in front of the camera like a bad Daisy Duke, or trying to pose as if she was you know back in the day Barbie Benton. She wasn't interested in telling the truth, but only in the portrayal to try to portray herself as a leader. Interested in what I say being a cheerleader, focused on picking a team, like she's the captain of the Toros in the movie Bring It On. I feel like I feel like she's like either she's controlled like a robot, like Dave Ming Chang in Eddie Murphy's movie Meet Dave, or she thinks she was trying to control us as like these little mini aliens controlling us. But I like the movie. Problem arrived when humans emotional and they use all of their five senses. We all saw what we saw, and we're all capable of being empathetic no matter what so-called team you're trying to be on. But to borrow a phrase from the jazz musician John DeButler in the song Lies, I hate to say it, but our faith in you is shaken. Don't tell you love us when it's our hearts you're breaking with your lies. So, Christy, no, stop lying. No alternative facts. And definitely stop eating those putty pies. This ain't political, it's about performance. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mick. I had to go a little real world, but you know how it is. It's football season in. I'm a still an observer of the world. So, had to go a
I
little real
understand,
world.
I understand. I'm kinda glad you said something because it's, heavy on my heart, and it's, a lot of people don't know. I lived in, Minnetonka, Minnesota, right outside of Minneapolis for many years. My son was born there. My son is very close to that young man, Alex's, say his name, say Renee Good's name, age, and they talk about his parents, they don't talk about his siblings, and I think it just really rattled me. Minneapolis, the whole area, nicest people, best place to live. You and I've been there many times for Viking Packer games. You can go anywhere in that city. I've never felt unsafe, and people are nice. And I think of these poor parents that have lost their only child. And it's very close to my heart and was very upsetting. So I'm glad you said something because my heart and is with Minnesota and to the whole country and anybody watching this. Minnesota's showing you the way and who we are as Americans and how peaceful they've been. And they don't deserve it. They don't deserve what their state's going through. But they've made me very, very proud to say I'm a Minnesotan and I'm a Minnesota fan, Viking fan.
Let's go. Right. There you go.
Right. And all I can say about your commentary about her is she should be very thankful that Prince isn't alive right now because he'd write a song about you and it wouldn't be nice. It'd be
For real.
what's his Nikki song? I can't think of the beginning of
Darling Nikki.
Darling Nikki, if you don't folks, if you haven't heard that song, go listen to that because I'm sure Prince could write something really nasty like that about her. So you're lucky. You're
Yeah.
lucky.
But yeah, that's that. I mean, we still have football left to focus on and try to focus on. We have the Super Bowl coming up, and that's in 2 weeks from now. But we'll continue, you should continue to follow us on the Puddy Pie as we continue to observe sports and the world. And we'll see you next week. Be nice to each other. Love, peace.